Hi guys, this is JB and Minot, and it's the weekend before St. Valentine's Day 2018. These are my most recent pickups. This is the only 3DS game I bought so far this year. Kirby Battle Royale. It's not getting good reviews from the critics because it's got a really short story mode. It's mostly a multiplayer game, I guess. I don't know if it's a bunch of mini games or what, but there's that. I love Kirby, so I had to get it. And there aren't a whole lot of 3DS games coming out this year so far. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the 3DS isn't dead. The 3DS isn't dead." I think they're letting it die out because there's only about two or three more games for the 3DS that I really want, besides remasters. And I love the 3DS. It was a great system, but they didn't have as many games for it as I'd like, especially puzzle games. They need to bring back more puzzle games. I miss puzzle games. But that brings my 3DS collection up to 268. Now for a PSP game I bought for $5. I like SpongeBob SquarePants. Um, it's a good diversion, good for just closing off your mind and watching. SpongeBob SquarePants, The Yellow Avenger. It's kind of looks like a platformer type game. So it's a very funny show. Haven't played this game yet. Got it for $5. That brings my, oops, I'm glad it's got a hard case to it. That brings my PSP game collection up to 439. You know what's funny? Last week I was going through my PSP collection and cataloging them, and I discovered I had about 20 more games than I thought I had. That's always a thrill. I love that. Okay, now for a couple of Switch games. Now I told you last month to be careful when buying this game, but I bought it new this month, and it's working out. It's working now pretty good. So it's called Monopoly for the Switch. It's got a bunch of different modes on there. I'd like this one a little bit more if you didn't automatically have to buy a land or auction it off every time you landed on it. I don't think that's right, because I think on the regular board game you can choose to buy the land or just move on your merry way. But there's that. Now, I think the worst I've played Monopoly on a bunch of different systems. The worst system I've ever played it on was the NES system, because the player seemed to never be allowed to pass go without going to jail or paying a tax. So, but this is a pretty good version. The graphics look good. A bunch of different modes. You got some home game modes and whatnot. So, there's that. This game is getting trashed by the critics, but it's getting mixed reviews from the customers. It's called Rhyme. Now this has come out on a bunch of different other systems. A lot of people are upset. Well, the frame rate's not very good, and they say, and the graphics aren't as good. But the customers, it's a mixed bag. So, and you know how critics are. If you don't overpay the critics, or if you don't have a Call of Duty game coming out, or any other kind of overrated piece of crap, they'll give it a bad review or a lesser review. But there's that. That brings my my Switch collection up to 39 games already, less than a year out. In fact, it'll be next month, I think, on the 3rd of the first year anniversary. Maybe I'll do a collections video on that. Okay, now for a couple of retro games. This one I paid $10 for. I thought it was more popular, but maybe not. I thought it was more of a classic. Maybe not. Mappy Land. It's a platformer for the NES. I think it's been on other platforms as well. This next game I bought for $9, and I only bought it because it was $9. It's from Kemco, and had I known that the Angry Video Game Nerd had made a review for this already, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Wouldn't have had the guts to buy it anyway. But it was just going to sit in there in the storage. Superman. It's kind of a brawler type game, brawler platformer. The Superman in this game is not very well done. So, there's that. Okay, now, I just discovered a game store in town, a brand new one, practically, that mostly specializes in Magic the Gathering. but they're trying to go side for video games. And they didn't have a whole lot of selection because it's practically brand new, but I bought 5 NES games, 4 of them with their boxes. Some have everything in them, some do not. This one didn't have a box. Super Battleship, a sequel to Battleship. I assume there's more gameplay to it. I bought it for $5. Battle Blade, excellent box art. It's a fighting game with swords, and it's got nothing in it besides the cartridge. And the cartridge looks really good, looks really well maintained, beautifully maintained. Here's a game from all places, Sony ImageSoft. Smart Ball, it's a platformer, and you play some kind of ball. I don't know if it changes shapes, or I guess it can climb all over everything, but there's that. It's got the cartridge and the manual. The cartridge looks really sharp, and the manual, not so much. But I'm not into collecting manuals and boxes anyway. In fact, if you guys want, if you want to, message me or something, you want the boxes and the manuals, I'll send them to you if I got them. This one is cost me $10, and it's Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures. Came with a black and white manual of all things. You'd think it would come with a more fancier manual. And the cartridge is a little bit faded, but it's kind of a platforming sequel to the original Pac-Man. And last but not least, The Wizard of Oz. There's that. Based, of course, on the classic movie. Oh, right there. And it comes with a nifty little poster. There's that. Let's see if you can see that. But it doesn't come with a manual. And the cartridge looks really beautiful too. That brings my NES collection up to, Super NES collection, up to 60. Okay guys, that was just a quick pickups video. Something to kill time on a Saturday night. I hope you all have a great great Valentine's Day. And hopefully I'll talk to you again before March. Maybe I'll do my Switch collections video for March as an anniversary thing. And maybe I'll have more games by then. In the meantime, you guys have a great February, and God bless. Bye-bye.